What's up, guys? So I just want to talk about the Hellcat, what led up to me buying it and why I bought it. Because it just kind of appeared out of nowhere. It was something that wasn't planned, and it happened pretty quickly. One day I took the Daytona in for an oil change at the Dodge dealership, and there's a guy that I know there, and he had a deal posted on his Facebook page about selling his Hellcat, and I just thought it was a joke. And so it was about 3 weeks later when I went to get the oil changed, and I just, while they were changing oil, I went and stopped by and talked to him a little bit, and kind of brought up his Hellcat and asked him if he'd sold it yet. And he said no, and he's actually serious about selling it. So he was I still at that point wasn't considering buying it, and he made a comment that you should sell your both your Chargers and buy my Hellcat. And so I kind of started thinking about it, and we talked about it. He talked about it a little bit, and at that point I was pretty interested. Thought, hey, that'd be pretty cool to own a Hellcat. And that's something that I never ever thought I would own a Hellcat. I'd talked to people before about Hellcats, and they asked, why don't you buy a Hellcat? And man, I love my Chargers, and just something I never thought I would do, buy a Hellcat. There was a few conditions that I had that would lead to me buying one that I thought would never ever happen. And that was, one, it had to be used. It would have to be a used Hellcat, because there's no way I could afford a brand new one. Way too expensive for me. And another second thing, it would have to be somebody that I knew well. There's people out there that, not just Hellcats, but fast, high performance cars like that. You never know who's beating the heck out of their car, and then they get done beating it and trade up, and you end up with the car that got the crap beat out of it for a solid year. So that was another thing that fell into place. Was I've known the guy for over 20 years, and I know he took really good care of it. The thing looks brand new inside and out. I think I found one tiny scuff mark on the black part on the bumper, which is, extremely minor. So I left the dealership that night, and I was on the way home, and I pretty much made my mind up on the way home that, man, I'm thinking about, I think I'm going to buy this car. I pretty much decided that, yeah, I think I'm going to buy this car. I gave him a text and to line up a day to come look at it, look over it really good, and then test drive it. And so it was probably a week later. I went to his place and was looking at it, and we took it out for a test drive. Well, he drove it first. I told him I wanted to have him behind the wheel first to kind of show me what it can do, and kind of give me lesson on all the, you know, on how to drive it. And this guy could drive this car. I mean, he was he knew this car really well, and it was a pretty fun time with him behind the wheel. He was, you know, showing me what it can do, and just taking me through a lot of different modes and showing me stuff on the dash. So then then we pulled over and I got behind the wheel and man, it was pretty damn fun. I was extremely impressed with the power of the Hellcat power. I knew these things were fast, but I can honestly say that you have no idea until you're in one. It's pretty amazing. It's by far the fastest car I've ever been in. The power is incredible. It's too much power for the 275 tires that are on it. It's way too much power. It's like driving on ice if you give too much throttle. So that'll be another issue that will be taken care of next year for sure. I was hooked. As soon as I sat in the seat and punched that gas a little bit, I was hooked. So I was like, and I knew that I got to get this car. You know, I was pretty impressed. So things moved pretty quickly. I didn't want this car to get away from me. So that's why I never got the video uploaded on that day at the dealership. Alright guys, so I'm out here checking out Trackhawks and stuff while the oil's getting changed on the Daytona. So opportunities presented itself. So I know a guy that works here. I was just talking to him a little bit, and he's offered to give me a deal on his 2016 B5 Blue Hellcat. It's got 4,500 miles on it, and he said he'd cut me a great deal on it. He told me to sell the Daytona and the 100th anniversary Charger, and he cut me a great deal on it. So that's got some thinking to do. Let me know what you guys think in the comments on this situation. Later. So the color was another one of the reasons why I was excited about the car too. It's in person. I've only seen one other B5 Blue car, and that was a Dodge Charger. I think it was a 2017 I saw cruising around, B5 Blue. So yeah, this is only the second car I've seen it with a B5 Blue paint job, and I think it's gonna look pretty sweet when I get all the windows tinted next year. I think that's gonna look really good with that B5 Blue. It didn't take me very long to make a decision on this. On my way home, I pretty much decided that I was gonna buy this car. It was way too good of an opportunity. Low miles. They had at the time when I talked to him, had around 4,900 miles on it. It's on their original tires. And that's pretty rare because people usually burn those off in a few months. I was pretty excited about it, but I knew that three's a crowd, so one of the Chargers has to go. I have a lot of ideas for the Hellcat for next year. So if I keep all three cars, I won't be putting any money into any of them. So I got to get rid of one to free up some money and save money and have some extra money to spend on the Hellcat. So I decided to put the 100th anniversary Charger up for sale, which I haven't done yet. I'm actually driving it right now. I get the most money out of this car, so I want to get the Hellcat and the Daytona a lot of track time next year and in the future. So yeah, the 100th anniversary Charger is going to be going up for sale soon. So that's how it went down with me buying the Hellcat. Like I said, it wasn't something I ever thought was going to happen. It wasn't planned. It was pretty instant. But I'm glad I talked to this guy, because this is probably the only Hellcat I would ever buy or probably ever will buy, unless I hit the lotto or something and can go buy a brand new one. But this one's here to stay, guys.